Hello everyone, Lee here, and today I'll be drawing a couple for Valentine's Day. I'll be a couple of days late on this because of school and having to write the script, so hopefully it won't be too late by the time this uploads. The idea I have in mind for this drawing is the couple enjoying time alone together at home. Very simple, I imagine it's very laid back with the male love interest sitting upright while slouching, and the other character resting against the former. I'm basing the male character off of me, so I'll be expecting to give him locks and a resting face. The other will have messy hair and sleeping eyes, basically sleeping. The other character's shoulder, in my mind, should be going toward the male figure, as that's just how they sleep. They are very connected and sinks into him not only through gravity but comfort. And the way their body sinks shows this. Their body is going to contort or twist to show their hip. I'll go into that more later. Meanwhile, the male will have broad or lengthy shoulders, but remember he'll be slouched. I mentioned this in my previous video, but it's very important to draft lightly with a number 2 pencil. Not a mechanical pencil, but traditional wooden one like Ticonderoga. This is due to the fact that if mistakes happen and you need to erase, you'll leave very heavy marks you won't want in the final product later. There are loopholes with this, especially with pen, but we'll discuss that in later videos. Now when drawing the arms, remember to go based off of your own arm. It is very proportionate, meaning it has a distinct length from the shoulder to the elbow to the hand. Upper and lower arms should be somewhat exactly the same length. In geometry, think of it as a right angle, or a right triangle. This can vary between all art, but think of the other character's arm in this art like a proportionate triangle. Since I'm doing locks, I'll need a model to reference how I'll draw it. I have 2-strand twist, and how it looks and feels to me is similar to a bumpy paper towel roll. I start with slanted lines and corners to connect each line, basically boxes. This is what I'll do with the male's hair. White Manga also draws locks, so check out his vids for more tutorials. What I've learned from White Manga is to draw these fat sausage links from the scalp down in direction of gravity. Do the whole head like this until it's filled or has no open spaces. It won't be perfect, but the first draft will do just fine as to give you an idea. Remember, your pencil should be touching the paper like a feather. The head is like a sphere, so keep in mind your lines will need to fall as if you have strands of rope on a basketball. Then start doing the line. Again, sort of like a paper towel roll. The further down they are, the closer the lines will be to each other. The further up, the farther apart the lines should probably be. As I make them bumpy, it's important to note the ends may not look exactly like how I have my ends, but they get the point across. When I'm ready, I do start going into detail on the hair. For the slants and the hair here, I do add some more curvature so I can make it actually look round. And I do outline the hair with my mechanical pencil. Just as you see on the boxes on the left of the male character, to each corner of the box, I'm going to add shading, and I'm going to leave a part in the middle for highlights. That's usually what I started doing, especially after watching White Manga. This helps give it more detail, look it fresh, and pop out. Then I go on to work on the face. I start adding detail to the eyebrows, the eyes, the lips, the jawline, and perhaps even add a nose. Don't ask me how to draw noses because I really don't know how. I just wing it. But I'll probably get better at explaining in the future. If you don't usually draw anime faces, one thing to note is that the eyes often take on many different shapes. There's the common D shape, the double corner shape, and the round shape. They also change shapes from several different angles. It helps to study and copy these different shapes as well as keeping in mind when they are used. I may make a video on this in the future. Here, I attempt to section off each lock like how hairstylists usually do. I fail at this terribly. So I don't recommend doing what you see here and either skip to the time code to see what I came up with, or check out different videos on how sectioning looks. Likewise, I continue forcing myself to draft the rest of the logs so that I can later add more and more detail to them. Take your time with this step. By the time of making this video, I'm wearing a sweatsuit because it's super cold outside, so I'm giving this guy a sweatsuit because I can. I know sweatsuits have a lot of folds, bumps, and protruding areas, so I'm drafting the folds I think will be in the sweatshirt. This is largely a visual practice and probably takes a bit of experience, but you got this. The other character would probably be wearing the guy's shirt. As such, it'd be pretty big on them and flow of their hips. Getting these wrinkles right takes observation and trial. Also, keep in mind, sections of clothing like seams aren't always dotted lines. They are pieces of clothing sewn together, and as such, they look as though they're flowing subtly out of that point. Because the other character is laying on his chest, there's gotta be some indentation on the clothing that shows they're making an impact in it. For the other character's hair, I use my friend's hairstyle as a reference. This is partially improvised, especially for the edges here. Just like the guy's hair, this character's head is like a sphere. Considering I'm going for a messy bun style, I'm going to add messy strands here and there. Again, I'm adding detail with my mechanical. for the shirt and bottom half of the guy. I also forgot his other hand, so I'll add that too. And there you go. I hope I was a little helpful and you enjoyed watching me draw. Have fun, stay safe, and see you next time.